Hey guys. Just catching up. Let's go live. Let's go live. Where is that other room? Let's go live now on TikTok. All right. So I was reading Discord. Somebody shared something. I was like, that looks like that scam that's been going around the internet. But look at, oh my gosh, let me get rid of that part. Today's new scores from somebody that passed. You can tell she did tutoring with me. Got that 100 in anesthesia and anatomy, of course. Look at that E&M score. Only probably missed one question. 100% on compliance, which is the same thing that Auntie CC and Wendy and somebody else yesterday got, is 100% on the compliance. But look at those hip picks and ICD10 codes. Really good scores. The only thing I can see that I need to work on for you guys for her scores, of course, is our 4,000 area. Everything else is looking really, really good. The lab and path, we know it's a booger, but if you get 50% on that, I think it's 100%. So that's awesome. Radiology could have been better too, but I'll make sure I put in some more radiology questions too. But 4,000 scores for sure. But man, all those 100s, just love it, love it, love it. So awesome. How's everybody doing? I'm sorry about it freezing. I was not talking for a second, so I'm not sure if it was just me not talking or what. My mind was so focused. Hey, Annie, how's it going? Let's see, we got Al here. We've got Carmen, Kimberly, Icy. Thanks for the share of the live. You're awesome. Hey, Kimber. Hi, Trisha. Hi, Deshelle. It's awesome. Yep, that was Miss Kay. She passed. So awesome to see. She did one-on-one tutoring with me. Thanks, Betty, for sharing the live. You're awesome. She is so awesome. She's helping me out with some projects too. Her and Alma both helping me out. Who have we helped? Yep, we helped Miss Kay. She passed today. We got Kaylee, who passed yesterday. It was awesome. Shauna, she passed yesterday too. Aw. And Samantha, yep. We've had quite a few recently. So much fun to see them all pass. I did do, I posted a video of number 2 of me working on the digestion system on my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com. If you go there under the videos, I have 2 posted there of me working up the digestion system. I posted a new live today on YouTube of the repeat live from Wednesday where I did process of elimination questions, which we'll do tonight too. So that's posted. I'm getting ready for Sunday. I have a 3-hour, I know the thing says 2-hour, I don't know what it's doing, but a 3-hour just E&M workshop I'm doing Sunday. If you want to sign up, it's at medicalcodingbyjen.com. And we are going to do 3 hours on Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock my time. I need to do a TikTok event, but we're going to do 3 hours of nothing but E&M practice questions, just like I do in the one-on-one tutoring. And that way we can get everybody's scores to 100% on E&M that are fixing to take their March exams. And we'll think about doing another one in April. Y'all just got to come up with which section you want. And then I got to thinking, well, what if we just do like all cancer, like anything with cancer or cardiology, or I don't know what we want to do. Something. We want to do one a month where we do a workshop where there's no questions but all of one section. I think that would be cool. But y'all got to do a poll. I guess I got to do a poll and see what everybody wants. Your nemesis is E&M. I refuse to learn it for the exam. I just put that as one of my sections that I was just not going to learn because I couldn't learn it, cardiology, digestive, eyes, ears. I couldn't learn it all. So I prepared the rest of the book and then I got there for the exam and didn't realize there was codes out of sequence that I should have fixed beforehand, and I couldn't find any of the lab, path, or medicine codes, not a one. So I had 3 sections I was not prepared for on that exam. I still passed, but I guessed on E&M, lab, path, and medicine sections. Yeah, it was traumatic. Especially after you prepare and you read everything online and you try to get all the information you can. I paid for a year's worth of information and still no one told me that thing. So that I was mad about that. And that's how I came up with making a TikTok and turned this into helping out more people realize the things that, that can help you to pass the exam. So when I say there are out of sequence codes, that's what I'm talking about in the CPT book. So even if you have the 2021 or the 2022, just the first thing you really should do is go through this book, find anything that starts out with this code is not here. They tell you a range of codes of where it will be, which is ridiculous because you don't have enough time to find those during the middle of an exam when you have 2 minutes per exam. Mine was back when the exam was 5 hours and something, so we had 150 questions. It was just overwhelming by the time you got down to lab and path, because they do go pretty much in sequence. You start out with anesthesia and go through this book in sequence, and by the time you're at lab and path, you've spent 5 hours there. You got 40 minutes left, and then you can't find any codes, and your brain's shot anyway. So it's just bubble in and hope for the best. So it was really rough. So go through the entire CPD book, find all these red codes, and just write down the page number where you can find them. If they're on the same page, just draw an arrow pointing in which direction they're at, like if they're over here on the second column or down below or up above. That's helpful, just so your eyes can quickly go to where it's at. If it's on a different page, just put the page number down. I put the column number which it's on, but you don't have to go that far. And then when I do find it on the other page where it is, I draw a red line underneath it so I can find it in the sea of black codes, because some of them are just filled with nothing but codes after code after code after code, and they're all black. Even the ones that are supposed to be marked, they have that black hashtag in front of them. But I like marking them in red so that I know that's one of my out of sequences ones. This isn't prepped yet, of course. I haven't finished my digestion yet, but I've gone through and done my yellow highlights of what is in the parentheses. So that's my next suggestion. Some CPT codes, not all of them, some of them have these parentheses or reverse C's, whatever you want to call them, and they usually give you an AKA name for a certain CPT code. Be sure and highlight that, because I'm seeing these names, and they might just use the second one like Weiss, but they won't use Mallory. But they're using those names in the CPC exam question. So if it's a difference between this one and that one, and they're both suture repairs, right? One of them says Weiss in the question, all you got to do is word search Weiss. So I go through there, my first pass through, and I mark my red do nots with 2 red marks, and then I do my yellow highlights, and then I'll come back through and read my for-your information ones, make sure there's no information there that I don't need to know. I'll also look for the ones that tell you when to use modifiers and mark those in blue. Other than that, I leave it alone, and then I'll start putting my one-word differences between these. So like the 47 and the 44, both start out with the very same word. Laparoscopy, surgery, surgery. One of them's gastric restrictive, one of them's implantation. So this one would be gastric and this one would be implantation. So just kind of go through them like that and write the one-word differences, and that'll make a big difference, because then you can just, like here in integumentary, just grab that one word, 2 lobes, go to the question, am I doing a whole lung? And there is a question about removing a whole lung or removing 2 lobes, I'm sorry. So you can just grab lung and lobes and search your question and see what you're removing if it's down to these 2 codes. Super helpful to have it just right underneath the code. That way you don't have to go searching through the descriptor to find whatever's going on. That's super helpful. So those are my tips. I know. Why couldn't they? And why couldn't some other places with caves and things? I mean, I paid a year's membership, $36 a month, to have access to all these servers and group feeds and people talking. No one shared that. No one ever talked about it. What's the deal? Why is that secret information? I don't understand. So I freely give that mess out, for sure. You're working on medicine now? It's a booger. Hi, coding family. Aw, perfectly. You're awesome. You can sign up right now for Sunday's coding thing. Let me see if I can bring it up on my phone. Coding camp. It's just $10, $5 an hour. You can sign up right there at the website. I probably have to log on, and I don't know if I'm logged on. Let me see. Google. Can I do Google sign up? I'm trying. I was trying to come up with some documentation too. So it's just $10, but go to Medical Coding by Jen, sign up for an account. It's free. You get access to my website. I got tons of cool information, resources there. My CPT code book prep is there, the Discord, all the links to everywhere I'm at. Right underneath this book prep one is the book prep videos, and you can get access to my videos where you can watch me prep a section at a time. I'm posting those there, and then the repeat lives of the questions I'm posting on YouTube. The thing on Sunday is just $5 an hour, but I'm only charging for 2 hours. I'll do the third one for free. We'll do 3 hours of nothing but E&M, so it's just $10, and we'll do all E&M questions. Everything will be E&M. You'll be shown every scenario that you will face on that CPC exam, so that you'll know what to expect. You'll know how to attack those numbers when you see them as one of your answers, which E&M it is, the best practices on how to get through that question as fast as possible with reading as little as possible, and you'll know what to expect. Some of them you will know how to answer with just looking at the answers right away. You'll know, especially with that 99215 or the 05. There's one question about that one that as soon as you see it, you know what the answer is going to be, and you can just circle it and move on to the next question. It won't take you 1 second, just a heartbeat to process that question when you see it on the exam. So super fun. And whatever I've been teaching in the one-on-ones with my students is just proving they're all getting 100s on their E&M sections this week and last week. So I've found something that's working right. So I'm happy to share it with everybody. All right. Annie. Well, it's better because of your help. Oh, I hope so. I really need to work on medicine too. I have 35 years of laboratory experience. Path is my best area. Awesome. I used to run my own lab in Memphis, Tennessee. We, back in the ending of 90s. The ending of 90s. Yep. I ran a lab for a family practice group, and we had everything in there from our HIV patients to our internal medicine patients. I learned how to draw blood from anywhere. Sometimes you have to go to the ankles. Sometimes you have to go in between the fingers. I learned a lot of skills there, still to this day. So it was super fun. I learned a lot there. Hey, Red, how's it going? Good to see you. Hey, Jen, thanks for the follow. What does the one mean? One where? You don't understand the guideline meaning? Hey, Jen. Jen, Patricia, how's it going? Hey, Dorothy, what was your question? Are you wanting to join in on Sunday's thing? It's just at my website, Medical Coding by Jen. Just go there. And yeah, I was trying to, the boys are going to be out of school the first week of March. And I'm like, can we go anywhere? I was like looking for hotels, and I'm like, no, just too expensive. Really is. I don't know where to go or where I'd take them either. They really want to go to Universal Studios. James has never been. Travis went with me when we lived in Cali a couple of times, but he doesn't remember it because he was still a baby. But I don't know, tickets are like $100 a day, but then hotel rooms or whatever, super expensive. I'm not ready to throw $1,000 away for them being out on spring break. We'll just find something to do here local. But this website of mine, I need to be able to log on my phone for some reason. I'm not on it. But you can do I think maybe I can get to it on the app. My website actually has an app too to get, which is kind of funny. I'm just not used to it. Yeah, there's the workshop. TikTok is telling me it's ready to go live. I hate it when it does this because when I do the when I make an event and I went into the event and I clicked let's go live into the event, and then later on it asked me, like right now it just sent me this TikTok message like your event needs to start, let's go live. That means it doesn't record the live. I hate when it does that. And I stopped making events, but now I'm like, oh, I want to go to I'm hoping it'll still record the event. But it's just a workshop, Jen's workshop. Yep, and it's, just $10, and we'll do 3 hours. And it'll be a Zoom meeting. Y'all can type in messages or speak, yell at me and say, wait, I didn't understand that. What's going on? Whatever you feel comfortable doing, but it'll be a Zoom meeting. Y'all will get the link right before the meeting, and any other questions, let me know. Hey, Jillian, I'm so glad you found me too. It's under Book Online. There you go. Y'all, we've helped so many. If you haven't either, after you join my website, I have one more thing to do. Download the Discord app from your place, whatever store. It's super cool because this is where I put all of our main chat is in Medical Coding by Jen. Also, when you get into my main chat room, you have all these rooms where you can go into, like our CPC practice question room. You have exam day prep, you have E&M resources, you have copies of my books in the CPT code resources, the ICD10 ones, the HIPICs, all that stuff. Compliance and regulatory, I'm going to put some practice questions in there too. We even have risk practice rooms, CCS and CCA practice rooms, COC, auditor practice rooms. You can sell your old books there. You can get medical terminology and anatomy help in those rooms. You can look back and see who all we've helped, who passed during the weeks and stuff like that. But these are really cool rooms. You can get your continuing education and your job resources afterwards too, and it's all free, every bit of it. So you get to see all the pictures of my books, see, and get help all for free on my Discord app. So that is super helpful too. It's a little wonky to figure out and learn how to use because this was made for gamers, but it works really well. We had a Facebook group, but it'll only hold 250 people in it, and I couldn't add any more people, and I've grown larger than that. So right now we have how many? Close to 400. We've got 377 offline and 18 online, so we're getting close to 400, which is really good. But the hashtag right there, Medical Coding, is our main room where we all just chit-chat, and then we practice questions in the other rooms, and that's under information with the plus sign. But if all the rooms go away, just hit the plus sign again and it'll open back up. But It's not fluffy like Windows. It doesn't have drop-down menus. It's a little like DOS or something, but it works just fine, and it gives you access to all the rooms and all the information from day one, where on Facebook you had to be a member to see the pictures that were shared, and you could re-see the ones that you've already seen, but you couldn't see what was already shared. If you download the Discord app, be sure and get an account set up for it. It's free. It has no tracking software in it either, like Facebook or some of those other things. So they made it completely off-grid or something like that too. So it's kind of cool. So you don't have to worry about anybody stalking you. But the 6243 seems to be an important number. If you need to find my server room, that's my server room. But you can always just friend me. My name on there is Medical Coding by Jen, just like on TikTok. And if you friend me, I'll get the friend request, which let's see if I have some. If I get back. Yeah, I got 3 pending, and I will friend you and then give you the link to the server as soon as I have a free second, and we'll add you to the server room. So those are handy little areas to be in. But yeah, if you want to do this Sunday, 3-hour E&M, be sure and sign up on my website, because that's going to be fun. And literally everybody who has tutored with me has gotten 100 on their exam. So that is just super cool, or super close. That 83 is the closest I've seen in the last 2 weeks to not having 100 on it on E&M. So that's awesome. Let's see, what other questions do I have? I keep saying it's 2 o'clock, and for some reason, I keep going to my app. I'm not the techiest person, but I am techie. I mean, I've worked from home for since 2013. You'd think I'd know a thing or two, but I say it's 2 o'clock my time. And I just looked at it, and it says 3 p.m. But I don't want to start at 3 p.m. because that's 3, 4, 5, 6, be 7 p.m. I was trying to start it at 2 p.m. my time. So if that's all right with everybody else that has booked it, I have it from 3 to 6, but I was trying to do 2 to 5. But that's Arizona time zone, which I don't have a time zone. We don't fall back. We don't go forward. We never move. Right now, my website only considers Arizona as Mountain Standard Time. Well, I'm only Mountain Standard Time half the year. The other half of the year, we're off by an hour. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do the second half of the year, but for right now, I'm the same time zone as Mountain Standard Time, which is the middle of the U.S., right? Sorry, I suddenly got the hiccups. Hopefully I can get rid of that before we start coding. But anyway, I don't know. I had it set for 3 o'clock, I guess. I kept thinking it was 2 o'clock, but I guess I have it set for 3. I'll do whatever. I just don't want to make it too late for people. I want y'all to be able to stay awake and get through it, and it be worth your time and money for sure, and y'all be there for it. I did get asked to do after church time, so that's it. I was trying to make it right after church. Oh, you had bronchitis? That stuff is sometimes really hard to get over with. It can take 3 weeks to get over bronchitis, and you still have the cough. At Disney's so expensive too. Okay, I'm just joining. What have I missed? You haven't missed a thing, Scorpio. Good to see you. I've been just rattling on about my website and about the workshop I'm doing this Sunday for E&M. If anybody wants to join, you join up on my website. We're going to do 3 hours of just E&M. Since everybody that's taken the exam the last 2 weeks has scored 100% on E&M on their CPC exam, and they're the ones that tutored one-on-one with me. I think I got something that's going good, and I want to share it. I want to share what I do in the tutoring with them to get them to that 100% with you guys so that y'all can do the same thing too, but in a group setting so I can do more at once. Because I know a lot of people are taking theirs in the next week in March, so I wanted to see if we could help out some people. She's going to be an anesthesiologist. Well, I do have some anesthesiology questions coming up. And yes, she needs to know how and when to start billing for her anesthesia. And it's not when she goes to evaluate the patient for anesthesia, by the way. The time starts when she starts preparing the patient for anesthesia, which means they're in the EOR and she's drawing up the medication to inject them for the anesthesia. That's when the time starts. And then the time stops when the anesthesiologist releases the patient to the recovery team. That's when the time stops. It doesn't matter when the surgery stops. It matters when the anesthesiologist releases them to post-op. So those are some things that could be very helpful to a new grad. Yeah, I know. Airbnbs, I did that for Disney when I fell and broke these 2 joints, the PIP joint right here. I got almost all my functions back. I'm still lacking just a little bit right there. I can't do that yet. But I did get the greatest little Airbnb, except for the air conditioner didn't work the first day. And it was hot and they didn't have any fans. And then they had to send a repair guy out the next day to fix the AC. And she calls me and says, the repair guy's there, you need to let him in. I'm like, I'm at Disney. I paid $150 per ticket. We've been here since crack of dawn. Well, I'm not going back to your house to let your repair guy in. Y'all figure it out, but y'all can go in. Go have at it. Just fix the AC by the time I get done. That was funny, but the rest of the time was great. And it was wonderful because we had our own kitchen, and I could fix breakfast in the morning before we went. And that way I didn't have to eat out another meal, which can be very, very expensive. My adopted son, who is 12, had never been to a theme park before. So I wanted to make sure before he was 13, I took him at least once to a kid, thing. Disney. I mean, yeah, something that would enrich his heart. He had 2 failed adoptions because both sets of adoptive parents died. And I'm his 3rd, but I've had him since he was 5. But I've just been, I guess, busy and never did take him to Disney or a theme park. So I felt really bad because Travis got to go all the time, but James never got to go. So I took him to Disney this summer, and I paid for it with falling on my hands, but trying to rush to a Spider-Man ride, but that's okay. It was well worth it. But I love the Airbnb option. That was great because it can save you some money. We brought our own groceries. How do you know when the codes to put the X by? That's easy peasy, Mom, because they have a plus sign in front of them. So let's go to Integumentary. I bet there's a bunch of those here. I even have in my Integumentary notes that are on Etsy, by the way, and there is a 20% off coupon in the TikTok link in my bio. I start out my Integumentary with do not use 50 or 51 modifier on add-on codes. And I put a big red note up there. Then I also put little notes like this. The plus symbol equals the X's, means no modifier 50 or 51. And those codes I make in my notes. I put a times by them on every single one of them, so you know those are the ones that you can do the times by. If you see times on something else, you know you can't do times by it because Jen didn't put that in her notes. So I do that for all of you in the notes. But it's just the ones that have the plus symbols in front of them. 99% of the time. Yes, it's those. Coding is subjective and can be changed in a lot of ways, and things can happen in real life that make other things happen. But for aapc CPC exam, these are the only ones that are timed, are the ones with the plus symbols, for sure, 100% of the time. Coding has a lot of maybe rules, and that's why I don't like coding. I'm not a coder, and I am a medical auditor, and I love auditing because we have a set yes or no is allowed things, right, in medicine. But in coding, you guys have a lot of maybes, and I don't like maybes, so I like just clearing the way and telling you exactly what you need to know to pass the exam. You have a lifetime to learn all your coding rules and guidelines and things that you're going to need for the job on the job, because it's okay. Every job is going to code differently because they're going to have contracts with vendors and health plans that are all going to be different based off their contracts, and you'll have to code this group, this health plan, a different way than you'll code or bill another health plan. So all you need to get a job is to pass your certification exam. So only learn what you need to pass your certification exam. That's going to be most valuable for you so that you can get that job in the doctor's office. They know they got to have policies and procedures in place and a little check-off book. This is Blue Shield's book. This is how you code Blue Shields. This is how you do Cignas. It's all different. You'll learn on the job. It's okay. The event is this Sunday. And if you go to medicalcodingbyjen.com, get you an account there. It's free. I'm not tracking nobody. I'm not going to be sending out no emails, bugging you every week. In fact, I think I've only sent out one before. There is a drop-down menu near the book online thing where my online tutoring is, my one-on-one. Well, I put a new event up there for Sunday's event. It's just $10, $5 an hour. But I'm doing 3 hours, so you get the third hour free, and we're going to do all E&M questions. Nothing but E&M. You will be an E&M expert for the CPC exam when you get done. Hey, Mom. Hey, Miss Williams, you've watched me a few times. Well, there's quite a few YouTube videos up of 2 hours and 3 hours of me rattling on. I also have some videos on my website that are just of book prep. You watch me go from code to code and see what I put down, and I tell you stories about healthcare in my family and what I've done. Probably a lot of people like to listen to people that don't tell stories. They just want the coding stuff, but I can't help it. I rattle on. Can you tell me the app name again? Yes, I can. It is Discord. Right there. And it's got like little Mickey Mouse britches. I don't know what that is, but it looks like Mickey Mouse's britches to me. A lot of gamers, your husbands and your kids will be like, Mom, are you on Discord? Oh my gosh, how many people are on your server? You can say 400, and then you can, brag about your your server community, and they'll think you're all cool and you won't know why. Yes. Yeah, cardio guidelines. Oh, yeah. And I tried to teach that all in one class on Saturday. I know, NFL voice. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Good thing we're done with football for right now, right, Salty? 2 will work better for me too. I kept thinking, I don't know why it says 2 hours and then it says it starts at 3 o'clock. I'm not the techiest person. I know how to send out my Zoom link though, guys. So look for one. It'll be 2 o'clock Arizona time because I don't want to make it too late or go on too long and people can't stay up. I know you East Coasters are 2 hours at least ahead of me right now. Half the year, y'all are 3 hours, and yeah, it's rough. Has their own hiccups. I know. I seem to be okay now. They didn't stay there for very long, but I was sure making some noises. Can I pay for the recording of this session on Sunday? I wonder. I'm going to record it for sure. So if I record it, can y'all look at it again? I wonder. I don't know. I don't know how Zoom records works other than do I post it somewhere? But then if I post it somewhere, it would be free for everyone. And that would, I don't know. Wonder what I would do. I could make it a private YouTube, right? And the people that paid get the link to see it. And then everybody has to make sure they don't share it. That way it doesn't get out there. How about that? So if you've paid and something comes up and you can't see it, I'll make it a private video on YouTube and then just give you the link because you paid for it. How about that? I'll find a way. One way or another, I'll find a way to get it to you. Yeah, how to add people on Discord is yeah, I was trying to do that the other day. My son started following me, and we were having trouble. Do you do an at medical coding by Jen? Do you search me up that way, or do you do the server number as just pound and the numbers? There's a combination of where you write this out with either the pound or the at symbol. You got to make sure you do the capitalization just like I have it with the M capital, the C capital, the B capital, and the J capital. Start out with that and see if you can't find me to friend me. I got 4 now, so somebody found me because I was just at 3. Yay. Good job. I'll see you Sunday, Red. So, Mom, just go to medicalcodingbyjen.com, my website, sign up for the account, go to book online. It's right there. Yes, that's all it is. It's going to be doing the process of elimination. I won't show the question first. It's going to be the answers first. The thing is, though, in a lot of E&M, you can't do a lot of process of elimination because they're asking if it's an office consult or a regular office visit code, or is it an inpatient consult, or is it a wellness physical. Well, those are all different codes, all throughout the section of E&M, but they're all sort of related. So you have the codes. I still like to evaluate where all 4 of the codes are at. I have a technique that I I do with those when we look them, and we got to know what they are ahead of time. That way we only are looking through the question to find the answers that we need to exclude or include certain codes in that situation. It would have to say physician referred patient to a physician because that physician needs help with this patient. We got to look up that thing first to make sure that they're really being seen for a consult when they're supposed to be. And then we need to figure out their status. And I don't mean where they are physically, but where they are in the evaluation process. Are they inpatient getting a consult, or are they going outpatient for a consult? And then that will tell us the answer. So process of elimination is easier in integumentary all the way through medicine. In E&M, it's a little bit more difficult because they're trying to confuse you with outpatient consults versus inpatient consults. There's no two codes that are going to be the same, really, unless they're doing just a 99213, a 99214, and a 99215. You know those are all in the same section, right? And you might get some weird one off in another section, but they're asking something about those level visits that are closer together, and that's an easier way to sort of do process of elimination, but you're still stuck with trying to find the information. Am I at a level 3 or am I a level 5? Are they circling the drain, or do they just have one comorbidity that's not exacerbated? Or if it is exacerbated, then I know I'm at a 14. So anyway, don't get me started. I'll do all that on Sunday. E&M is a bear. That's why everybody has trouble with it. Even with the process of elimination, it's a bear. You got to know what you're doing in that section first, and there's more guidelines to consider than the other sections, for sure. With the other sections, there's only do's and do nots, with and without. It's a lot easier. Anyway, I have rattled on. You missed the anesthesia answer? Oh, if this live records, it'll be posted. But the important thing for your anesthesia answer is the time. When does time start and when does time end for anesthesia, which is totally different from surgery time, or even talking and evaluating the patient is not included in that. So there's a whole thing about that. So hopefully this records. I'm not too sure it's going to, because I'm getting alerts about the event needs to start. I thought I already started the event. I hate making events on TikTok. I'm hoping this records. But anyway, I hope that request. Oh, good. You got the friend request. Who died? I hope it wasn't one of my stories. It is possible to do coding from another country, yes. Aw. Somebody has always been interested in coding and billing. How long would it take to get certified? You could take the exam tomorrow. You've paid the fee and scheduled your exam, and you could take it tomorrow. Whether you passed or not is up to you. You don't need any prerequisites. You don't need any courses. I don't recommend any anyway, but that's a whole nother story. Don't get me started on that tonight, because I haven't even done a question yet and I need to get going. I don't know what time it is. Twinkle's got to get me going here. So you could take the exam tomorrow and you could pass and be certified. So aapc CPC exam, just go to the aapc website. They've got tons of information there, and a Facebook to follow group. When you get ready to take your exam and you want to practice and see if you're ready, come back to me and be glad to make sure you're ready for the exam, but you actually don't need any courses or anything. You can take it right away. You just need your CPT book and you've got to get to prepping it. For sure. Lots of prepping here. Thank you for the ice cream cones and all the heart. How many? We've already got 2,000 likes. Yay. You just completed your coding and billing certificate at a university. Discord logo is a game controller. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it looks like Mickey Mouse's britches to me. Does it not? I swear it looks like Mickey Mouse's britches. Am I not just a 50-year-old old lady? Really? He was like, yeah, mine too. Mine was like, Mom, why are you on Discord? How many people are you friends with on Discord? And I was bragging I had 300. And he's like, no way. I said, yeah, and I got 7,000 on TikTok. You're cap, whatever that means. And he walked away. Yes, 2 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you perfectly. Which is better, CPC or CCA? I like CPC because you get 2 tries. Love the 2 tries for your bang for your buck for money, Do one in person, and then do your second try, change it over, and you can do it online. I think that's the best options. Absolutely, the 2 tries at aapc for CPC. You just go to my website and schedule it there, Mom. It's all set up and ready for you. Yes, Red's trying to help you out. Kimberly, I don't want to miss out on the E&M session. If you can somehow send me the link for the video after y'all study, that'd be great. Yes, I can send you the link. Just nobody share it. And it will be recorded because it'll be on Zoom, and Zoom will record it. I've been practicing it with my one-on-ones to see if it'll record and if it's doing a good job, and it's been doing just fine. In fact, I've used up all my server space. I have to go buy some more cloud space of some sort, so I got to go do that before Sunday. My server number, I can't believe that is a remote control controller. I thought that looked like Mickey Mouse's britches. My goodness, there's the number. But that makes total sense now. 26243 is the server number. Yeah, it'll help. You'll be a E&M wizard for the CPC exam for sure. Aw, thank you for the tapping of the screen suggestion. That's super cute. I'm trying to get through all these, and I just want to make a comment about everybody's comments. So, yep, Prep on Sunday is all E&M, and all the E&M guidelines related to it. Everything that I've been teaching everybody on my one-on-ones is working. They're getting 100 scores back. I'm not capping. I promise. They are seriously getting back 100s, and if they could do it, you could do it too. Just let me teach you the way that I taught them. I mean, that's simple, and we'll see how it goes. CPC. Is CPC best for straight out of school? I think CPC is straight even without school. Is that? It's 8:20 in Arkansas, Jen. She's trying to get me to keep going, right? Right. You have an hour and 10 minutes left. Thank you, Twinkle. I can't get through all these messages. I'm sorry, guys. I still have 6 to go, and I'm still not there. I'm at Cam. She's nervous, just started coding, and she's really anxious. We all are. And exam day is even worse, and it's terrible. The anxiety really gets to you, but if you've listened to me and you have my voice on your shoulder telling you, no, don't do that, don't read the question. Remember, let's do the process of elimination. Let's go to the answers first. Let's look for coding irregularities. There's a lot of things that you'll hear me say over and over again, and it'll give you some relief of your anxiety during your exam. You'll start seeing what I taught you in real life is really showing up on your exam. You'll start feeling more confident as the questions go by. You go like, this is true, this is true. Look, she told me this, and you can just laugh at the exam because you know all the tricks, and it'll be okay. Don't start stressing yet. Just keep watching me. 4 weeks of school left, Tanya. That's great. Hang in there. Hey, Beth. Hey, Shell. You like it when I say britches? Oh, me. All right. Let's get to some questions. Somebody said they wanted to do muscular skeleton. That they needed help on that in Discord, so I was trying to make sure I did a bunch of muscular skeleton. So if we looked at these numbers, and what I like to do, guys, for the process of elimination is just go number by number, and I'm not looking if these codes had a lot of things after or before them. I'm not looking at any modifiers or anything that might be after them. I'm just looking at these just as numbers, just to see if there's a pattern or some sort of association that looks familiar, looks similar, and super close together, just numerically, that's all. So 2, 4, 3. I have not done up this section of the book. I got the 2021 done, but not the 2022. Which ones would we be getting rid of for all you that have been here before? Oh, yeah, I got to get past all these messages or I can't see nobody talking to me. So those schools take your money and they are not required. Correct, Annie. Correct. And they mostly just give you a lot of busy work and stress you out, and you come out of them not knowing half the stuff that I teach you. I don't even know if it's even half. I think I can teach you more in one live than you would have learned the entire 20-week course or whatever. Just ask any of the ladies in chat that have had and paid for a course. They are not happy with it. Thank y'all so much for all the presents. Book away, Tiffany, book away. You're taking your exam tomorrow, Artsy? Good luck. Good luck. You'll still be at work during the review. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Gemini. You can still book it and then watch it later when I post it on YouTube. I can send you the link afterwards. Only the people that book will get the link, and then you can watch the entire thing unfold, but you just won't be able to participate, like ask questions and stuff, but you'll still get to see it. Beth scheduled a ton of one-on-ones with me and she passed. And Beth also bought a free tutoring session for you guys. So we're having a raffle. All you have to do is email me, and my email is in the TikTok link. So after this ends, click on the email in my TikTok. I'll show you what it looks like. Beth passed and she wanted to give back to our community, so she's bought somebody tutoring. All you have to do is click my link in bio, go to the email thing right there, send me an email, put in the bio line, you know, the message line that you want to be entered in on the raffle, and I'll have Travis draw a winner probably Sunday night. He'll be back then. So I'll make sure everybody's name is in there and then have Travis draw a name out, and somebody will get free tutoring. So if you would like to enter into Beth's tutoring free session she bought somebody, please send me an email. Your cap. I have no... Yep. Or what is capping? I know. I guess they use it interchangeably. Like I'm lying or I'm really cool. One of the two. They could interchange that. Aw, she already feeling more confident, and she found me yesterday. That's awesome. 9:30, 8:30 in Indiana. I know, I'm trying. I still got 21 messages. I can't get through all these. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay. I just had to skip them, and hopefully I didn't skip anything that was important. If you need to ask a question again, let me know. So, what are we getting rid of? What did everybody say? Let's see. I couldn't, I tried so hard to find questions to get Beth stumped on, and there were very few. Let's see. We're getting rid of C and D. Is that what y'all are doing? Oh, MJ, you paid $4,000 and you don't feel prepared at all. I know. When they gave out those free courses, I took one just to see what it was. I had already passed my CPC, but they gave away the COC, the CIC, and CPB. So I took those courses and I thought, if I had paid $4,000 for this course, I would be traumatized by what I know is the exam. There's no way that prepares you for the exam. The exam is something totally different. So that's why I'm here anyway. So I'm going to keep the 40 and the 42 because they're super close together, right? And what is our differences between these two? Oh my gosh. The 432, 42. Where's my 4-2s? 4. Okay. 2, 4. Let me get there at least. 2, 4, 3. 40 and 42. Stitches or reinsertion. If you don't know your suffixes, sometimes that helps more than anything. That tendon on the 2, 4, 3, 4, 0, the last 3 letters are SIS, and that sometimes, most of the time, means that they're doing stitches. So that's what I have as my AKA word underneath that code is just stitches. And then I know 42 is a reinsertion of something. So that's all I need to look for in my CPC exam question. I'm going to look from the bottom up and see if I can find words that match reinsertion or stitches. And that's it. I'm not going to read the question from beginning to end at all. I'm going to go from the bottom and make sure that they're really asking me about a procedure. Yep. And sutures are right there. So I know I am going to be doing B, and I can pick that as my answer and confidently walk away and go to the next question without reading all that propaganda that's in here. I don't need to code. I don't need to look up none of this stuff because the questions are already coded for you. They already have an answer. It's already coded. I like the process of elimination, which gets you down to only usually 2 codes. You only look up the differences between those codes before you ever look at the question. Don't look at the question first, because you'll be influenced by the question. Just like detectives, they don't like to be influenced. They have a really hard time being influenced by the evidence to point their investigation into a direction. They're supposed to be open to all that. We just go straight to the evidence, find our keyword, and then do a word search. We don't read the questions here. I also like to look for coding irregularities too after I've picked out my process of elimination. So looking at this for the process of elimination, if they're using the same code in multiple answers, there's a reason why they are. You can go on and eliminate C and A because they want to know if you know this code can be multiplied times 6 or not. Somebody was asking me about multiplication today, right? The one thing I do know is, can we multiply times 6, the only code you're going to bill for anything? So the ones that we can multiply are add-on codes, which means you have to have the parent code to go with it, and then its parent code is one of something, a one bundle of something or one of something. Then if you need to add additional, you are going to go to the add-on code, which is the plus code, which gets added behind the parent code, and that's the one that you can multiply. Because if you need to add multiples of things, a lot of those add-on codes are just each. So each time, and if they did something 3 times, you would do the each times 2 because your parent code is times 1. The only time you would do something like this is maybe a HIPX code when you're doing just an injection and they want to know how many shots would you give if it was 10 milligrams and you needed a 60 milligram dose, right? You would do a J code and then you would do it times 6 and it would be your only code for billing. But in CPT world, it just wouldn't happen where you would have times 6 as your answer. It's just not going to happen as the only answer, especially for a procedure. So you can even go to your 205. Let me get there. 205. It wasn't even there. And you can verify if you wanted to make sure it's not a plus code, but you just would not have a plus code that you could do times as your one and only procedure code for anything that day. 2055. Where are we at? 20553. So we're on page 142 of the 2022 book. And that is not an add-on code at all. It is an injection for 1 to 2 muscles. Now, if we were going to do 3 or more muscles, they have another code for that, and that would be 20553. So if you're going to move up and do more muscles, they already have a code for it. It wouldn't be a multiplication of anything. So when we go down here to our question, and we don't have to, but I'll show you how they're trying to confuse you. They're doing 6 trigger point injections, but they're hiding how many muscle groups they're doing, right? So our 5-3 is for 3 or more muscle groups, but they're trying to hide it under 6 trigger finger stuff. So these codes don't code the injections. They only code how many muscle groups you're doing. Irregardless, we know that it's just 53. And if you know your coding irregularities that I like to teach y'all, you'll know that you'll never have an answer where times 6 is going to be your CPT code and your one and only code. I tell you all the time, that's a no-no. So we could have done it without even looking at any codes at all. Just do your process of elimination, then look for your coding irregularities. Yep. Note says trigger finger. 6 trigger finger injections into 4 muscle groups. So 4 muscle groups goes exactly with that 553 code because it's 3 or more muscles. Yep. All right, our next one has a bunch of garbage after the first code. Don't you be looking at all that mess. Don't be worrying about all that. There's a ton of stuff back there, but don't worry about it. We're just going to do our process of elimination with our first codes. We're going to ignore all this mess. We can't do process of elimination because we need to go figure out if we're in the 06 or the 07. Once we figure out if we're there or there, we can eliminate 2, right? So 27506, I like to go to the first one in numerical sequence so that I'm going forward in the book when I look at the second code. 27506. So we're on page 198, yeah, maybe. 06, yep. We're at an open treatment, right? Both of them are. Both of them are femoral shafts, fractures. And one of them is with a plate and screws, and the other one could be with or without. If we have plates and screws, we know we're going to be 07. That's the easiest difference to figure out, right? So let's figure out if we're doing any plates or screws. It's a little dark for you guys. Let's see if I can turn on the light. No, is that going to just make a glare? There we go. Maybe that's better. We might have internal fixation, but do we have a plate? The 06 does do external fixation with insertion of the dilatory locking. No cerclage. No cerclage at all. Do we have a cerclage? I think screws would be in both of those CPT codes for sure, because they both can have internal fixation. But the plate is different, and one of them has no cerclage. They're very similar. Intramedullary. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. We only have one that has that wording. That's our key word right there. Do you see it? Yep. We're going to keep A and B, of course. So all of the diagnoses are the same. We just now need to know the differences between the 12 and the 44. And go over to integumentary. 110, 12. We've got our open fracture muscle bone. Love it. And then our 044 is right on. Is that even still a code? 11044. There it is. This one is debridement down to the bone. Our 12 is debridement subcutaneous muscle. So is our debridement going down to the bone, or is it going down to just the muscle? Y'all like locking screws to go with that too? Yep. It does say bone. Devitalizing the bone. But did the irrigation go down to the bone? See, 12 says bone too. It says muscle, fossa, muscle, and bone. Open fracture bone. Our 44 just says subcutaneous tissue, muscle, and fossa. Does the epidermis, the dermis, subcutaneous tissue, muscle, and fossa. The only one that says bone is our 12. So B is our answer, because our muscle to bone, this one's the only one with the bone in it. This one over here, our 44, no bone. My notes get all crazy. Goodness gracious. I even write some examples down here too, guys. I try to do definitions of words too, so that you know what's going on in the procedures. Be super helpful. Debridement bone. But that debridement at 44 is not due to a fracture. Go look at your parent code for the 1101 right over here. It's debridement because of an open fracture. You got to take in consideration your parent code. This is due to a fracture. This has no fracture noted, and it's a parent code. True, Betty, but also this debridement is not due to a fracture. The 10, which is the parent code for 12, is due to a fracture. So they know you got to separate the 12 from the parent, and they know you don't have it. So it's fracture. They're all fractures. This is due to a fracture. This is due to a fracture. So that's why I put fracture with all of them. Yep, that's the key, is because this kid had a fracture, which, yep, he had the shaft fracture. Super tricky one. Don't let him trick you. That's why having those keywords right beside the codes to keep you straight so you don't get confused. There's no fracture on 11044. That one's going in your book. Good. I'm glad. That tricked you on the exam, Tiffany? Yeah. They're bad about that. I hate when the parent and child are so far separated. And in the middle of a stressful situation like the CPC exam, it's 10 times worse. I make it look easy here, but it is 10 times worse during all that stress. So it's really nice to have me talking in your ear during the exam. Just take it one step at a time. Do your process of elimination, if at all possible, or like this one, you can't. Just start at the first one of numerical order. See what your differences are. Hopefully you've already prepped your book or have my notes written in your book so that you can just grab your one-word differences and know those right away and then go search your question. And you can be really confident and know that's the difference. There's a fracture there, there's no fracture there, that kind of stuff. Just a lot of prep work beforehand, but it's worth it. You get the book done and then you're practically ready for the exam because you just have to practice the questions after that, but you got to get the book prepped. All right, 66, 9. I can't wait till Beth is some head honcho for United Healthcare doing HEDIS or some sort of guidelines like that. She's going to love it. All from home. Six, 6, 9. I'm trying to get there. I'm not the best one to hone up codes in these books. So 6, 6. And my book, I'm having to, because I got this new lazy wheel thing, that holds the book upright. It's different than it being laying down on the ground. So 6, 6, 9, 8, 2. Here we go. Where are we at? Oh, this is the best one ever. I love it. So we're looking for our one-word differences. Now you want to be back in the ER working? Oh, no. Oh, no. You don't like it? It is hard to get used to. When I left the floor, Beth, and went to administration, I bet it took me 3 years before I was happy again, because when you're on the floor and everybody needs you, I can hear the hallways, there's Miss Jen, where's Miss Jen? I need Miss Jen. I need Jen. Where's Jen? You miss that. You do miss that when you go administration. But eventually you'll mourn your loss of being needed so much, and maybe that's what I'm doing here. Is back in people needing me. That's probably not a good sign, but it took me a while, from 2013 to, it took me 3 years to get happy with my role in administration, working from home and not being needed. People would forget I was an employee. And that was great with me, but it does take some getting used to. I hope you find what you're looking for, but don't be surprised if you don't miss being needed so much. It is a trade-off. I'm thankful for you, Beth. I really enjoyed tutoring you. All right, 82 is extra. That's all you need to know from that CPT code. That's it. Don't read nothing else. And then 83 is intra, right? Intra. Sometimes it's just one word differences that make all the difference in the world. Then 84, we're back to extra again. I'm just going to write an E. Y'all know that's extra. And then 85 is an insert. So all I need to do is find out if I'm inserting, if I'm extra or intra. I bet it's going to be a difference between the two extras because they're side by side and they start out the same, right? So we're going to look at our question real quick. We're going to grab that second word. Yep, we're doing extra. So that's all I'm going to look at. I don't need to look at nothing else. Now I need to, because I know we're doing extra, I need to find out what my differences are between those two differences. And there's only one little bitty bit change in difference between those two codes. They go on for sentences with the same wording, extracapillary, cataract, removal, with, insertion. You could go on and go on and go on until you find the one bit of difference between those two codes, which is, I know some of you have already tutored with me, so y'all know what the difference is. What's our difference between 82 and 84? Look at mean. You got it going on. There is this one little, and you remember me telling you in the very beginning of this live that they really love picking out words that are the parentheses. See, it's right there in the parentheses. Iris expansion device. That's what they like to pick on. For some reason, they'll put that word in there. This one, in its procedure, in its parentheses, just has irrigation and aspiration. But this one has iris expansion device. All this wording up here is all the same throughout both of them. But the only difference is that expansion device. So if we come back down to our question, we'll see right there, right underneath the extra, it says expansion device. That way you know your answer is C, and you can move on to your next question. But if you don't have that CPT code prepped so that you know the differences without having to read all those sentences and try to hunt and find what your difference is before your exam, you're going to be sitting there stressing, not seeing a difference between those two CPT codes for a while. So that's why it's super helpful to go find your differences beforehand. I need to quit moving this dang camera before we lose all focus. There we go. Hopefully that was helpful. You got it? We got 4,000 likes, y'all. Thank you, thank you. And 7 shares. That's the most I've ever done. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. More people will be able to see my craziness and listen to me talk about britches. Here is my one E&M, the one that you can do by just looking at the answers, and you can walk away confident knowing you know what the answer is. I was talking about it earlier today. So if we go to our 99213, 214, 215 pages, if you're in the 2022 book, it'll be on page 20. So this question is just seeing if you understand one little thing about your book. Yep, established office visit. So when you see these answers come up on your exam, which you will, you'll have one question that's going to incorporate these codes. Let's see. Let me get this up here then. I'm trying not to show off the question. How's that? Is that better? Hopefully that's better, Betty. Okay. So if we go look at our 13, 14, and 15, there's one parenthetical that is noted for one of these codes. The 13 and the 14 don't have any parentheticals, but the 15 does. And it's separated by the 2022 book. I can't remember how it is on the 2021 book, but I don't think it's separated. I just think the code is separated by a different page. But the parenthetical in the 2022 book is on another page, on the 21 page. And it's way down underneath all these CPT assistant book notations and really close to the hospital observation thing. And it just makes you forget that it's even there. But that parenthetical is what this question is about. It says, for services over 55 minutes long, use the prolonged service code with that code, which is a 99417. So anytime I see a 17, a 17 with a 15, or a 17 with an 05, because you can go back and look at the 05, it has the same parenthetical, that's just what their question is. Let's go see if our time matches that. And all we're looking for is a number in the question, which is 55. And if you go see at the 15, our time is up to 54 minutes. So that 1 minute more is all they're asking is, do we know that this goes with that? And the 05 code has the same thing. So the 05 is a new patient. It has a different time, but it has the same parenthetical. If it's over 75 minutes, so the 74, we're going to be using the 17. So all you have to do is, if you see your 15 with that 17 as a possible answer ever during the exam, then all you got to do is go check your question for a time and see if your time is genuinely 1 minute over. If it is, then that's your answer. That's all they're asking. They want to know if you know about that parenthetical. It's super important. It's always on the exam. So that's it. Yep, no looking at MDM, no looking at nothing for that one. Not at all. I don't even think it's listed in that question. No, parenthetical. It's way down there on a separate page. I just think they're just trying to trick you for sure. I've been writing in some AKA terms in my E&M notes. Y'all are going to get to see on Sunday for how you do subsequent or observation. I got some really good AKAs because they come from the questions. So when you see those words in the questions, you'll know exactly where you're at. So that's going to be really helpful too. I'm just really loving the notes I'm making up here in the book. All right. Anesthesia. Yep. Tiffany rocked it. So did Cindy, Auntie CC, to you guys, and Wendy did too. And so that's why I was like, okay, we got to have a workshop. We got to tell everybody else what I'm doing and how I did the one-on-one tutoring, because everybody's doing a really good job. So for process of elimination, what are we keeping? And if you have not done so, please go to your HitPix book, find this chart in anesthesia with AA through QZ, and write all of these in anesthesia underneath your P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, and P6. Write all those there. That'll help you during your exam. Yep, we're going to keep our B and C. And all we need to know is our differences between this one and that one, right? Now, process also of elimination tells you one of my other little, it's not really process of elimination, but one of my other little observations from AAPC is if one of your throwaways has an answer in it that's the same as one of your answers still remaining, that it could be that answer. So I'm leaning towards C. And if I was in a time crunch, I would pick C and move on to the next question. Just because that code is there and it's not in my other one. But we can go look up these 6,000s anyway to see our differences. For today, might as well. 623. There's obviously something here they want us to know the difference of. In these 6,000 codes, they're pointing us in that direction. They want us to be aware of whatever it is in these codes. So our 2.6 and 2.7, the only difference is, and don't read the parent code, if that makes sense. Go straight to the child code because it's easier to read the 2.7 because all it says is with imaging. So if you find imaging in this question, then you know the answer is the 2.7. If you don't find any imaging, then you can pick 2.6. That's much easier than trying to read the whole parent code because it has a lot of thises and that's and tons of stuff going on in it. So do we have any imaging? I do not see the word guidance or any kind of, it's going to be fluoroscope or CT scan. Nope, don't see any of that. So C is our answer. There you go. How are we doing on time? We're doing okay? Okay. I got 20 minutes, somewhere around there. I got to shut my door. I'm cold. And I think I have this back door open and I'm getting freezy, even with my hand muffins on. Oh, there we go. Brr. It's so quiet here without the boys. Good gracious. They are having a sleepover. Have any of y'all tried these? Okay, I'm going to get off topic for just a second, but I've been trying to order these from Amazon. They've been sold out forever, but they're catnip lollipops for kitty cats. I got them in today. I cannot wait to give them out to the cats. Most useless thing I've bought all year long, but it's for their spring break week when the boys are home and they're home all week long with them. So I think that's so funny. Kitty cat catnip lollipops. come on. Focus. Focus, camera. Don't start this on me. 21 minutes. All right. Oh, good. Okay. Come on. Don't start. You got 41% battery. Oh, good. I just hit it and it worked. Okay, that works. My cat would love that. I'm going to try them out. The boys are home. Oh, good. I just hit it and it worked. Okay, that works. My cat would love that. I'm going to try them out. The boys are home the first week in March for spring break. So 10 days home from school for spring break. So I was like, the cats are going to need catnip. Magpie is beautiful, isn't she? She's just the prettiest thing. She looks like half fox. She's so interesting. Her coloring is just awesome. I think she's awesome. Of course, I'm trying to find her picture. I don't know where I put it. Oh, what am I selecting them for? I don't know. I'm trying to send them somewhere. No, I don't need to send pictures anywhere. Process of elimination. Stay focused, Jennifer. What are we doing? I think I put it under downloads, didn't I? Look. Look. This magpie the other day. She's all cross-pawed. They're just so funny looking. So funny. So funny. But she has the bushiest, crazy tail I've ever seen on a cat. So we are going to, y'all like B&D? I like B&D too. Do we have anything that we can, is there a 42 or a 65? Look, there is. Look, right here, that 65 is also in D. So there's two of them that are like that. The 42 isn't in anything, but that 65 is. You got a screenshot of her. She's awesome. Are you going to show your daughter? I think somebody. This is the one that is crazy. I think is just awesome. She's not happy because her ears are back. But look at that tail. She is awesome. It just goes on for miles, the tail. But her coloring, I mean, she's beautiful. Gorgeous girl. She's awesome. My dad's cat was super cool. Pinky. And I let her out going to the gym, and I can't find her afterwards. But this is Pinky, and she has a rat on her back. She was awesome. October will be 3 years missing her, but that's Pinky. She had her own Facebook page. She was awesome. But she's out living her best life. She used to go on walks with my dad, and so she always wanted to go outside after he died and would not stop trying to get outside. Darn cat. But yes, Magpie is awesome. So for these two, just because that 65 is in A, you could pick D and move on to your next question. But let's go see what the differences are here. Why they picked these two out. Yeah, Pink. Stinky Pinky. She was a cool cat. She didn't like to be held. She didn't want to be touched. She just wanted to be fed, and she wanted to play. She was all the time player. 7 years old, and the dang thing still wanted to be played with. She didn't want to be touched. So she loved to fetch. Milk rings and mayonnaise jar rings. She only wanted you to toss the ball. That's what I call toss the ball, but she was really tossing milk rings. She only wanted to play fetch incessantly. She would go run and tear off and pick it up in her mouth and bring it back to you over and over and over again. Incessantly. She loved to play and would just yell at you if you didn't play with her. Okay. 7-5. Yep. So, am I at the right place? Yep. 5-5, 8-7-5, and 7-6. Our differences are needles or cath or a device. Yep. 76 is a device going to be implanted. Mm-hmm. $15. I'm trying. I'm losing focus. I got to do 3 hours on Sunday. I got to get all my talking out of me so we can focus on a ton of E&M questions. I'm going to pack them all, every example I know and have. So are we doing a device, or are we doing a catheter or a needle placement? What do they usually need a transrectal ultrasound guidance to place those seeds in? Those seeds hold, like you can't use radiation for prostate cancer because the prostate is hidden behind the bladder. And if you try to get enough radiation through to kill the prostate cancer, you'll kill the bladder. So they have to go in and just deposit little radiation seeds in there and let them slowly dissolve in there, and to do it that way, just in case you wanted to know what was going on here. Probably not. You just want to know how to code it, right? For the seeds, 75. Is that our differences between the two codes? So our 75 is for a needle or catheters. Yep, without the cystoscope. The 76 is the one for the radiation therapy. Yep, that's the one for the seeds. If you know what the seeds are, you'll know that that's the radiation therapy. Absolutely. Perfect. Dosimetry purposes. I don't even know how to pronounce that word. You see how they just love picking codes that are super simpler. Transperitoneal placement or placement of interstitial device radiotherapy guidance. They love it. So, of course, I have cardiovascular one to come up next. 930, somewhere in that range. That feels better. It feels better now that it's not so cold in here. All right. So 930, did I even get there yet? 930, 15. Yep. I think keeping A and C is good because they're both the same answer, right? One's just use a modifier or not. Now, when we do these coding irregularities, I love it when we see something like this, because do we put modifiers on our first code? Generally, when we're doing coding examples, yeah, it's when you're coding something and you need to put a modifier, you need to tell a story. And usually the story is, why do we have this code and we need to add another code, but we have to tell a story about why we need to add the second code. So usually it's the second code that gets the modifier, right? Seeing two codes with two different modifiers. 26 is what craziness? That's professional component, and then 25 is your regular E&M modifier for added on procedures. It just looks irregular, right? So with the process of elimination, you just pick C and move on to the next code. Absolutely. Also, the 204 is in this one, it's in that one, but yeah, just looks totally weird with both those modifiers there. And that's all they're asking with that question. Here are some rapid fire guideline questions. Okay, I didn't put the answers first, so you'll see it like you would see it on the exam. So this one is, guidelines from which of the following code sets are included as part of the code set requirements under HIPAA? Which one is HIPAA? And just in case you didn't know it, some people get confused. You think that all of it's covered by HIPAA, right? But not the category 3 or dental procedures. You think about things, it's not what we do to you that's private, it's what you're diagnosed with that's private. So yeah, ICD-10, it's just written really weird that can confuse folks. All right, another guideline one. All right, which statement is an example for a diabetes-related problem that exists and the code for diabetes is never sequenced first, even though there is a diabetes-related problem going on for today's visit? If the patient is a diabetic with an associated condition, that would be like diabetes with CKD, renal failure, because they're associated together. And that definitely would not be the answer, because we're looking for something where the diabetes-related problem is never coded first. So we're looking for something that diabetes will not be the first diagnosis. Diabetes in this situation would be diabetes, and then it would be the renal failure, the CKD. So C, patient is being treated for type 2 diabetes and uses insulin. This one, diabetes goes first. and then your long-term use of medication. It's a Z code would be next, right? So it's not C. We're looking for something that is not diabetes first. If a patient has been treated for secondary diabetes, if you have, I'm trying to think, what would you have? You would have like a glucose intolerance or something like that. It's still something that's going to be diabetes related is going to be coded first, because diabetes is still the issue in this situation too. It's only the reason would be for a insulin pump malfunction, which would end up being an external cause, which would be a T code, right? That T code for the external cause is the right answer, because you would do the malfunction, the injury to the patient, the malfunction is going to go first, and then diabetes would be second. So A is the answer on that one. 5 more minutes. Yeah, it gets crazy. Next, group 1 ICD-10s. I can do that too. I got quite a few of the ICD-10 ones. 3 hours of ICD-10. I probably have to throw in of every scenario. I can do that. I can do that. All right. Here is the next one that I have. Twinkle says I gotta hurry up. All right, Shawnee. I see you. I see you. All right, Lily. Yep, they're only asking, do we add the 52 modifier or not? What is the 52 modifier? Reduce services, right? So let's go see what's going on with this patient. We're going to start from the bottom. We're not going to read from the top, guys. So, other test, come back, reschedule. So it looks like they are rescheduling for part of it. That's all I would read. I wouldn't read anything else. I'm just seeing something that says to come back for something else, then I know they've probably reduced it. That's all they were asking in this question. Their questions are geared towards knowing something. It's not just random numbers and you're having to code like the difference between a cabbage with 2 graphs versus 3 or whatever. It's usually a reason, like, can I code this code with another code? Can I use this modifier with another modifier? Their questions are geared towards a mechanism for you to know, more so than just coding what's in the questions, if that makes any sense. Okay. Here's one that gets everybody usually. What's the difference between entropion and ectropion? There's just a letter difference. There's a C and an N. What else? $42. Y'all, I'm like 500 hours away, too, from being able to do these lives on YouTube, too. Just so you know. If you ever have any spare time just to turn me on YouTube and then just turn the volume off and just let it play at night while you're asleep, like hit play all, that would help out if you ever wanted a way to help me. I only need like 500 more hours. Everybody's saying A. It is the inward turning of the eyelid. Yep. And ectropion is the outward. I taught y'all that in goes with in, right? And then the C is the way out the door, right? We throw the cat out the door. The C is the kitty cat out the door, outward. But we really don't put the cat outside. I am still heartbroken over my pinky being gone, but that's how I remember these. You hear me in your sleep? Oh, I'm sorry, Betty. But that's how I remember these two. Yep. And that's it. That's all I had prepped for tonight. That's it. All done. I hope that was helpful. Hey, MK. How's it going? And look, ended right on time. Thank you so much. What all is on the exam, girl? Go check my YouTubes out. You'll see what's on the exams. Questions just like these are all on the exam. You're very welcome. There comes Twinkle. I love you. I love it, love it, love it. I hope to see all of you on Sunday. I will, I don't have the boys all day tomorrow, so I will be doing book prep, of course. And I'll be back in about 30 minutes, and I'm going to do book prep too. So I'm going to be working on, I don't know, I got to finish some stuff for E&M because I typed all of E&M, as far as notes this year, and I didn't do book prep because I was proud to type them all so that it would be my own work and not like on these pictures. So now I'm having to go back and do book prep because our E&M course, y'all are going to need to know, y'all are going to need to see what it should look like in the book. So I'm going to go do some E&M prep maybe tonight too. So give me 30 minutes to go swap laundry and say hello to my mom, and everything else is done for this week. And I'll be back to stay up late with me. The app. It's the Mickey Mouse Britches one, right? No. Discord. Discord is the app. And then if you want to be on Sunday's 3-hour E&M session, it is on my website at medicalcodingbyjen.com, and you can go there to schedule it. Just go to book online, and it's $10 for 3 hours, and we'll do all the E&M questions that I have in those 3 hours, and I'll show you every trick I got that I teach everybody that does tutoring with me so that they can get 100 on their E&M scores. So there is the server number and my name on Discord. It's a safe app. Go on and download it. Can't be britches with holes, but it's Mickey Mouse's britches. He has those buttons. They're buttons, right? It looks like buttons. He has those red britches with the black buttons or whatever. That's what it looks like to me. That looks like Mickey Mouse's britches. Promise it does. Anyway, that's the Discord group. It's awesome. I mean, just to have the practice rooms where practice questions are, and then if you go into the book, each individual book room, or even to anatomy, you get pictures of my freaking books with all the anatomy work I did to them. It's all free, and everybody helps everybody in there. It's just more and more stuff I put out there for you. It's available. I can do it on this tablet because I have an account on my own website on this tablet. Well, let's see if I can open this and go. So yeah, do I show up? Yeah. Travis was Googling me at school today and showing everybody my websites and stuff. I'm like, Travis. So you go to book online, I think. Yep. And there's two things there. One of them's for the one-on-one tutoring, and then this one is my special thing for Sunday. But it's 3 hours, and it starts at 2 o'clock. It's just $10. Just book now. You'll get a link to the Zoom meeting, and it's for just this Sunday. So you can only book the day with the dot beside it. So it's the 27th. And it says 3 on Mountain Standard Time, but I meant to do 2 o'clock. Don't ask me. But it's Arizona time zone, 2 o'clock, so that's like Florida, 4 o'clock. And then you just pay $10, and that's it. And even if you pay and you can't go, I will post the repeat on YouTube as private YouTube. And I will send you the link that you can use to view it, but it'll be private to everybody else. Illinois, like what time is it in Illinois right now, MK? I have 8:35. So it is. So, yeah, we're an hour and ahead. So, I'm going to do it at 2, so it'll be 3 o'clock your time, MK. This is a workshop I decided to do for this Sunday just for E&M. And it's only going to be for E&M. So, it's just evaluation and management. Going to go through 3 hours of practice questions, all for E&M, like I do with my tutoring, my one-on-one, because I've been getting a lot of 100s. People have been just slapping 100 scores on their CPC exam the last 2 weeks, just killing it. So I thought I'd share with a larger group what I've been teaching them as a workshop. So that's what that is. Yep, it'll be 3 at your time. Yes. Michigan, so it'll be 4 o'clock your time in Michigan when I do the class on Sunday. Yeah, and it says 2 hours instead of 3. But I say 3 hours here in my notes when you go to the description of what you're getting. So I'm not the techiest person, but I'm really good usually. But this was new. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this, a group thing. So there's a few little snafus, but yeah, and it even says 3 hours multiple times, 3 hours. But I don't know why. And even the calendar, when you go in there to book, like this right here, when you go to book, it tells you that you're booking from this time to that time. It'll tell you 3 hours somehow or another. You go to Sunday, and then, yeah, it starts at 3 o'clock, but anyway, it's 3. That's it. You did nervous system. I hope it was helpful. Yep, it's under book online, right there. Yep. And you'll see both. I only have the 2. I'm trying to post some new sections, but like combine them so that y'all can buy bigger bulk sections. I was trying to do that today and I forgot. I got to go back and redo the PDF so that they're combined into one thing. But because I don't think I can load multiple PDFs in here, but I'm trying to load those so that I'll never be able to do the whole book all at once with one download. It's just too big of a file, but I'm able to get 3 sections into one download and can combine some prices and get it cheaper here too. So Working on that in the store, but don't have it yet. It's just coming. It's coming. But the videos right here, the book prep videos, I've got 2 of them up for the digestive system too, right there. So that's super helpful. And the blog has the new ICD-10 codes for COVID, which are on the new exam. It's the 2022 code for COVID that is on one of the versions. So that is listed there in the blog. And I even have the PCS codes for you CCS people listed in that blog for the COVID stuff. So you have that updated information for you guys. But anyway, Discord is right there too. You can click on it and get there. And also with all the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Dicky Talks, all of that is under resources. So that's the site. All right, guys, I'm going to go spend 30 minutes with Mom, and then I'll be back to do book prep. I hope this has been helpful, guys. Thank you so much, Betty and Twinkle, everybody, for all your help helping answer all the questions. Sorry I wasn't able to get to everybody. And how many likes? How many likes? We're at 4,800 and 9 shares. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Mom. I'll be back in a little while. You're welcome. You're very, very welcome. Good night.